And it's probably one of the reasons that Zoom is down from $700 in 2020 and is not even like recovered close to that. It's down, it went down to like 80 bucks and it's like at 110 or something now. I haven't even looked at it, but I'm thinking about shorting it based on my experiences that I've been having with it for the last couple of weeks. Anyway, hope you're doing awesome. We have a green market. Now, we were yellow for like 3, 4 days this week, and that means just exercise caution. Doesn't mean you need to slam on the brakes or hit the accelerator. It means you need to exercise caution. A lot of people that I know that I recommended to them, they took the opportunity to weed the garden. And I always think that it's a good opportunity when you get a cautionary market to get rid of some of the stocks that are not performing for you, right? I always look at it like, let's say you have 2 tomato plants in your garden that are thriving. You have 1 bucket of water, and that bucket of water is set up for 2 tomato plants. But if you plant another 2 tomato plants and you don't get any more water, now you're stretching that water over 4 tomato plants and none of them thrive. So what you want to do is get rid of 2 of the weak ones and just keep that water going to the strong ones. And that's what these markets can do. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me hope I can do this. We're going to try real hard. I think it's going to work though. All right, here we go. So just got finished with my mastermind group. This was last week's chart. And you can see that there are 2 red lights and there are 2 green lights here on this screen. You can't see the fourth one actually. But the market was just about to turn red last Friday or yellow, and it did turn yellow last Friday. And it stayed yellow for a few days this week. And I'll show you now. Here's what it looks like. We've got our 4 green lights. We went green, yesterday, and now we are off and running. So, that's a good time to say, all right, now I want to put my money back into the stocks that are performing well. And there's a lot of them. I'm going to go through a few of them today, but there's a lot of good sectors out there, mostly technology right now. And if you remember, like 6 months ago, technology just couldn't get out of its own way. Apple was going down and a lot of tech stocks were going down. Well, that's not the case anymore. So let's talk about what's going on. Look at the NASDAQ, hit an all-time high. And it's really pushing that all-time high again. Same with the S&P 500. The Dow Jones is at an all-time high now, not just near one. So it gapped up today, and we'll see how that works out. But usually, the Dow Jones might take us higher. I like the New York Stock Exchange. It is not at an all-time high. This is a very broad market, a lot of stocks in it, and it hasn't been able to make it up to the all-time high. So that is telling us that the little indexes have a lot of concentration in some of the good stocks, but the big, 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 the New York Stock Exchange Composite Index, it's got a lot of different stocks in it, and some of them aren't doing so hot. And so, we've got to kind of keep an eye on that, but pretty much everything's kind of bullish right now. And that is corroborated by this decline in the volatility index. When the volatility index declines, that's generally good for the markets. Let's get into some stocks that we've been talking about. I've been talking about Apple for about 6 weeks, saying, look, you got to buy it. And here we are several weeks later, and it is at an all-time high. And this stock looks to me to be very strong. You can see relative strength is rising. You can see that the momentum is gaining. It's up in this gray area here. A lot of good things going on with Apple. And I think we're, coming into the summer, and then they start to talk about the new Apple products that are getting released, and it starts to get exciting toward the second third of the year. Nvidia had numbers this week, but even when they have great numbers, this is why you don't take chances going into earnings. You just don't, because you don't know. Like, you might think, you might have been right. Oh, Nvidia is a great company, the most valuable company in the world, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the stock killed it on numbers, and on the stock, it doesn't really care. It's down, right? The stock hit, $230 or something like that, and now it's at 216, kind of coming back to some support. So just don't be a hero during those 4 days a year where there's earnings. I don't want to see you guys lose money. Tesla. This is the cool thing about Tesla, guys. I love Tesla. I made a lot of money on it. I've also lost a lot of money on it. I have a love-hate relationship with the stock, and it's a whipsawy stock. All you got to do is look at the action in here, and you could see up, down, all the time in this downtrend. But look, I think things are changing. We're not relative strength-wise at a very strong spot in Tesla, but I kind of thought we made this cup, which the top of the cup was 498. And I think we might make a handle. Here we are making a handle this week. And We hit this little 452, 454 area. That's where the stock wants to break out. That's where the pivot is now. So we got to lower that pivot. This is an opportunity for me, I can't say for you because I'm not you, but for me to start to buy, to nibble away. I call it sending a probe down to the planet to see if there's life down there, right? You don't want to invest your whole portfolio and back up the truck because, first of all, it's Tesla. And second of all, we don't know which way the stock is going to go. We're just trying to build probabilities. And this little handle, this consolidation area with the cup, and this little handle is almost textbook. It's a sell off on weak volume. This is your Aunt Susie and your Uncle Jimmy, getting taken out of the stock, right? As the market makers come in and take it from them, all on low volume, while they build up the other side here of the handle. And then the real breakout spot is there. But you could send a probe down to the planet and you can, look at it as an early entry just on some. And if you're right, you can maybe add to that. That's how I like to get into stocks. I don't scale in. I pyramid only when I'm right. I buy into strength. And that's the way the pros do it, right? And that's the way we should all be doing it. SanDisk, for example, you can look at this stock and just, it's near an all-time high. It's 1600.00, which I think is amazing. But you could see the stock broke out from down here at 280, right? And that's why we study charts, is because if you can catch them in these little breakouts, right? They consolidate, and then they break out. This one was up 79% in just a few weeks in a breakout, and then it kind of consolidated for a long time. Then it had another breakout. It failed that breakout for 6 days, and then it came up the other side and broke out on a gap, and it's never been back there since. It went from 777 to $1,600. And SanDisk is performing very well. It's in the top group in the industry groups that are out there. So 32% of a stock's performance comes from the performance of its industry group. So you want to watch those industry groups, and I could pull up this whole industry group, and you'll see they're all up today, and they're all up in the last several months. Micron, kind of the same thing, same industry group, right up near its all-time high, pretty yummy. AMD, same kind of thing. They're not in the same industry group because they're a computer maker, right? The computer makers are going crazy, and AMD is hitting an all-time high. And this is in an 8-week hold rule, by the way. So if you had been holding it from down here, you really can't sell it. AMD is just on fire. Probably going to come back and fill that gap in the next couple of days, but that's okay. A lot of people are making some good profits. Big gap here that you got to watch out for when we get some weakness. But right now, there's just nothing but strength in AMD. Bloom Energy, all-time high today. This is part of that AI play, like everything else is, of putting in AI data centers and powering them with their energy solution, which I think is a hydrogen alternative energy solution. And they can go pretty quick versus getting approvals with the traditional power companies. So that's why this company is just shooting up. And look at this breakout from this consolidation. Look, you had to be in this one early by sending a probe down in here because you couldn't have caught it here. It would have run away on you too fast. Gold, on the other hand, is not doing great. It's kind of hanging down under the 50. The 50 is kind of drooping. Not a lot of good things happening in gold, but it's gold. If you think the Fed's going to print money, and I do, and they are, then you've got to be bullish gold and hard assets. So that's what's going on there. Silver Trust, the same way. It's right around the 50. Nothing exciting in either gold or silver or the metals. But, if you believe in this new guy and you think he's going to print money, then these hard assets might be where it's at. They're just kind of taking a break, it looks like to me. The Soxel is a 3X semiconductor hitting an all-time high today, gapping up. This has been a hockey stick thing. Be careful with this guy because it's 3x normal volume. 3x the multiplier of the semiconductor. So it moves fast, guys. So be careful. Please don't hurt yourself. MicroStrategy is something that we've been watching for, a couple of years now, almost 2 years. And it's finally come off the bottom. It's actually having a phenomenal year where it hit $104 at the beginning of the year in February. And now it's, gone up to 197, almost doubled, right? This year, you forget about that. You quit thinking about it. You take it off your list. And here we are, something that almost doubled, pulling back. MicroStrategy looks fairly good to me, even though it's got low relative strength. I want to end on a good note. Here's a good note. All these computer companies are going up today because I think the government has invested in quantum computing. And so if you look at the quantum sector, you look at Dell, they're hitting these all-time highs. This one's gapping up on gigantic volume, 200% of greater than average volume. You can't buy it here. It'd be a chase. The ultimate buy was 153 and now it's almost at 300, double that. But this is why you've got to keep watch lists of the stocks that you want to own because they creep up on you. And all of a sudden, the stock is having lousy relative strength and then it breaks out and then you don't get another chance to buy it. It just goes and goes and goes, right? And today it's extended. You can't buy it up here. The risk is too high. It could come back and correct easily. But you could have bought it here when the things are lining up. That's why it's so important. That's why I do these market pulses, right? I want to show you guys that if you look at enough charts, you could start to see the patterns and they jump out at you. And there's some, AI stuff that's helping you draw these patterns. But that's why you've got to study charts because if you have them on your watch list and you catch them early, and you don't take too much risk when you're catching them and you have good risk management, you can make a ton of money, especially if you sell covered calls, which is what I teach people to do every single day of my life. And it's a lot of fun because you go from being an investor that's hoping on the 11 in craps, which happens very rarely, and you start to bet smart on stocks that are going to go higher, but you're going to make income even if they don't. And shifting that mindset is a game changer for a lot of people, especially as we get a little bit older and toward our retirement. We want to start gearing our portfolio toward income and staying away from those crapshoots that we get so sucked into when we see these exciting charts and things like that. Anyway, you get the idea. Have a great weekend. I think it's a long weekend. Have a wonderful long holiday Memorial Day weekend, and I'll catch you next week on the Market Pulse next Friday. Take care. Bye.